Chipmunks and the Little Lost Dog. Alvin, Simon, and Theodore were walking home from school. "Hey, look at this," said Alvin. He pointed to a sign that said, "Please help a homeless animal. Give to the Animal Society." "Gee, think of all these poor animals," said Theodore. "We should help them," said Alvin. As soon as the chipmunks walked in their front door, Alvin ran for the telephone. "Hello, Animal Society," he said. "The chipmunks will donate $20. You will have it tomorrow." "Where will we find that much money?" asked Simon as the boys went up to their room. "In our piggy bank," Alvin answered. But when Alvin broke open their piggy bank, all he found were some crumbs. "Where is our money?" he yelled. "Well, began Theodore. "I bought a few boxes of girls' cadet cookies. They are in the closet." When Simon and Alvin opened the closet to look, an avalanche of oatmeal cookies tumbled out. "A few," gasped Alvin. Theodore looked uncomfortable. "Maybe we could give the cookies to the Animal Society," he offered. "I have got a better idea," said Alvin. "Whoa," groaned Simon. Alvin decided that the chipmunks would put on girl cadet uniforms and sell the cookies from door to door. That way, they would earn $20 fast. "I hope no one I know see me in this get-up," Simon muttered as they put on wigs and dresses. So, dressed as girl cadets, the chipmunks went from door to door trying to sell cookies. A scruffy little dog started to follow them, but the chipmunks paid no attention. They were too busy ringing doorbells and talking to people. "Good afternoon, madam," Alvin said politely. "Would you like to buy some delicious cookies?" Slam! The woman shut the door in his face. Nobody seemed to want girl cadet cookies that day. "That's the lost house," Alvin said to Theodore. "Simon and I will try it. You got the cookies." While Alvin and Simon climbed the steps to the door, Theodore had a small snack. The little dog who was following them looked so sad and hungry that Theodore gave him a snack too. Alvin knocked at the lost house. "Hi," he said. "How about buying some terrific cookies?" "Good idea," said the man. "We are a big family. I will take all you have." "Fantastic," Alvin yelled. "Let us go get them." But when Alvin and Simon got back to Theodore, all of the cookies are gone. Theodore had fed most of them to the stray dog, and of course he had had some too. "Nuts," said Alvin. "There goes our donation to the Animal Society," gobbled up by Theodore and this miserable mutt. "He was hungry," protested Theodore, "and so was I." Just then, the little dog went over and rubbed against Alvin. "He is kind of cute," Alvin admitted. Simon knelt down to pat the dog. It licked his face. "He likes me," said Simon. "You know, he seems very intelligent." Theodore nodded. "Let us take him home with us." "What about Dave?" asked Simon. David Seville, who took care of the chipmunks, was allergic to dogs. We will have to smuggle the dog in, said Alvin. When the chipmunks got home, they had a friend with them. It was the dog dressed as a girl cadet. Achoo, said Dave. Hi guys, who is your friend? Oh, this is Gloria, Alvin answered. She just came over to play for a while. Nice to meet you, said Dave. I can't understand it. My nose only itches like this when there is a dog around. The chipmunks and Gloria raced upstairs. What do we do now? Asked Simon. Let me think, muttered Alvin. Looking out the window, his eye was caught by Dave's car parked below in the driveway. That is it, Alvin cried. We will get Dave to pay us to wash his car. But he just had his car washed, Simon protested. Then it is up to both of you to see that it needs another wash, said Alvin with a mischievous grin. Simon and Theodore hid the dog in the garage. Then they got some mud and smeared it all over Dave's car. Hey, said Theodore, this is fun. Simon agreed. We may have invented a new art form. When Dave and Alvin came out to look at the car, Dave was saying, but Alvin, it is perfectly clean. Why it is filthy? We will be happy to wash it, offered Alvin for a small fee. Okay, it's deal, Dave said. So the chipmunks set to work. They scrubbed and rinsed and waxed the car until it shone like new. Then Theodore went off to play with the little dog while Alvin fetched Dave. You boys did a great job, said Dave when he saw the car. Here is your fee, he handed Alvin a bill. $1? Exclaimed Alvin as Dave went back into the house. Oh no, we will never earn $20 for the Animal Society at this rate. Hey, called Theodore from the garage. Come and see how I have trained the dog. Sit, Theodore said to the little dog. It did nothing. Alvin and Simon looked at each other. Pretty, please sit, coaxed Theodore, and the little dog sat down. Pretty, please roll over, Theodore said, and the dog rolled over. I have got it, Alvin cried. We will have a circus in our backyard to raise the money. The dog and I will co-star, but I get top billing. The next day, the circus began. Children lined up and paid 25 cents to get in. There was a drum roll and Simon appeared on stage. Ladies and gentlemen and pets, please take your seats. Get set for the treat of a lifetime. There was a crash of cymbals. The amazing chipmunk and dog act. Alvin and the little dog ran on stage. All the children clapped. Sit, Alvin commanded. The dog just stared at him. Okay then, roll over, ordered Alvin. The dog did nothing. Boo, yelled the children. We want our money back. Scram, Alvin uttered to the dog. I will do some tricks. So, Alvin started acting like a dog. He sat up and begged. He lay down and rolled over. Then he started barking. But the children were not pleased. Oh, an eggplant landed on stage. It was followed by a shower of other foods. A tomato hit the stage with a squish and splashed onto the dog. He started to lick it off but decided he did not like tomato. After the children had left in disgust, Alvin counted the money. "We have made a whooping $3 from the circus," he said. Meanwhile, Theodore was giving the dog a bath to wash off the spattered tomato. "I can't understand it," Theodore said to the dog. "Why wouldn't you do the tricks for Alvin? Hey, look at this." Theodore had discovered that the dog was wearing a collar. Attached to the collar was a tag that said, "My name is Pretty. Please return me to Mr. Weaver's." "Now we know why he did tricks for Theodore and not for you, Alvin," said Simon. Theodore said, "Pretty, please," and you did not. "The dog's name is Pretty." "Well, we would better return Pretty to Mr. Weaver's," Alvin said, before Dave sneezes his head off. At that moment, Pretty began to tug on the leash. He pulled so hard, he dragged the chipmunks to the head of the line. The butler was standing at the door. "Mr. Weavers will see the next person who claims to have found his dog," he announced. When Pretty heard the butler, he began to bark. Inside the big house, Mr. Weaver sat in his library reading a book. All day he had looked at dogs, big ones, little ones, short hairs, long hairs, spotted ones, black ones, brown, white and red ones. But none of them was his lost dog Pretty. Just then Mr. Weavers heard a lot of yelping and barking at the front door. "That sounds like my dog," Mr. Weaver said excitedly, and he gave a special whistle. At that moment, Pretty began to tug on the leash. He pulled so hard, he dragged the chipmunks to the head of the line. The butler was standing at the door. "Mr. Weavers will see the next person who claims to have found his dog," he announced. When Pretty heard the butler, he began to bark. Inside the big house, Mr. Weaver sat in his library reading a book. All day he had looked at dogs, big ones, little ones, short hairs, long hairs, spotted ones, black ones, brown, white and red ones. But none of them was his lost dog Pretty. Just then Mr. Weavers heard a lot of yelping and barking at the front door. "That sounds like my dog," Mr. Weaver said excitedly, and he gave a special whistle. When Pretty heard his master's whistle, he broke his leash and ran between the butler's legs. He raced through the house to the library and jumped into his owner's arms. "Oh, Pretty!" cried Mr. Weavers, "you are back." Pretty gave Mr. Weavers a big lick. The chipmunks followed Pretty into the library. When they had told the old man the whole story, he said, "You have earned the reward. What will it be?" "How about $25 to donate to the annual society?" asked Alvin. "Fine," Mr. Weaver said. "In fact, I will donate $100 in each of your names." Theodore and Simon cheered, and Alvin hopped up on the arm of Mr. Weaver's chair. "You are so generous, Mr. Weavers," said Alvin. "I just happen to know of some other needy causes you might be interested in. Oh, said Mr. Beavers. Yes, Alvin said with a mischievous grin. The Alvin Toy Fund, the Send Alvin to Camp Fund, the Alvin Birthday Party Fund, the Alvin barked Pretty, interrupting. Okay, I was only kidding, said Alvin, and everybody laughed.